Hey, what's good, everybody? It's me, your hero, Benjamin Banks, and you're watching Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. And joining me, as always, is my co-host, Rebellious D. How you doing today, bro?
Pretty good, man. What's up?
Hey, I like how when we do these intros, it's either going to be an arrow or it's going to be the minigun, and you just shooting at everybody.
I'm giving everybody thumbs out.
Hey, you need to be careful, man, because I'm telling you, like, one of these days you're going to hit somebody, and then the podcast is going to get canceled, and then nobody's going to get sued. Well, no, we're not going to get sued. You're going to get sued.
Whoa, easy. I'm employed by Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. At least that's what you told me.
Hey, look, I'm going to have to make sure that I'm going to be like, yeah, we are not affiliated with this guy, and these are his own actions.
That's unfortunate.
Everybody, you know what time it is. We do this every Tuesday, our Black Lightning reviews, and this week joining us is Jess In King. And Jess, she always is in our comment section on the Black Lightning video. So I figured I was just like, let's invite her on for a Black Lightning review. How you doing today, Jess?
Hey, y'all. It's great to be here actually on film instead of in the comments. But, you know, either way, I was going to check y'all out.
Thank you. Hey, we appreciate you coming on. We appreciate you always engaging with us in the comments and whatnot and telling us how you feel about the episode that we're reviewing. So, since, this is our first time having you on and the first time that our viewers are seeing you, tell everybody who you are, what you do on your YouTube channel, and then we'll move along from there.
Sure. So I am someone that focuses on the goth subculture through the Black lens because I'm blackity black. So I like to do a lot of representation about the artists, the people that are making articles, people that are making music, photo shoots, because it's so common for people to say that goth is just something white people do and that white people created rock, which is wrong and wrong. So I like to educate YouTube land about that. And I'm here just to gripe about what's going on because last week was so bad that I couldn't even say anything. They offered me to show up next week and I said I couldn't.
Well, yeah, that's awesome, man. Like I said, thank you again for joining us. And before we get into today's review, everybody that's watching, make sure that you like this video, you subscribe to our channel, and you hit that bell button so that way you're always notified when we have new content here on the channel.
Hey, podcast in the description.
I was like, D, I was waiting. It's like you got on me before because
you went silent. Yeah, but you went silent on me.
Hey, I was.
We'll catch on. We got to get this technique down.
Hey, it's like Tiger and Bunny, man. When they activate that good luck mode.
Good luck mode.
You know what I'm saying? It's like I started it and then you finish it, and that's how
I got it.
Let's go ahead and get into today's review. This is episode 8 of the Book of Ruin, chapter 3, Things Fall Apart. And the episode, it starts with a celebration after Anissa and Grace, they returned from the town that they were in when they were with Painkiller, Khalil. Yep. And as soon as they're in the living room celebrating, everybody's there, Gamby, TC, they're all having a good time. And then the FBI shows up. And it's like from there, that's when things get interesting. And now what's funny about this is that when you watch this on the CW, all the description said, not the CW, but the CW app, all the description says is the FBI shows up at Jefferson's house. That's it. I'm just like, y'all don't say anything else that's going on. It's just the FBI shows up. Like the FBI shows up and then that's pretty much it. Like, I mean, we don't see them anymore in the entire episode. But I thought that, like starting the episode off, I think that, it started off with a bang because, last week we had the Painkiller episode and, we did our review for that and whatnot, and it was okay. Jess, how did you feel about the Painkiller episode?
Yeah, it was so bad I couldn't say anything about it. And I'm really disappointed because I was checking what the Black YouTube land was saying. And it seems like I'm the only one that really hated it. I peeped right from the beginning that they had audio issues and their levels weren't right. And I'm like, come on, I'm an unprofessional, learn by doing the work video editor for my own channel, and I can hear that y'all got stuff wrong, that's a problem.
Yeah, I know D. He was a huge fan of the Painkiller episode, and he's hoping that it does get a spinoff. For me, like I thought it was okay, but if it doesn't get a spinoff, like I'm fine with it. Honestly, I feel like if anybody's gonna get needs a spinoff from Black Lightning, it needs to be Ishmael. That's who needs to get a spinoff. But
Don't bring him up. That's
why?
Come on.
Tell it. Why shouldn't I bring him up?
He's just a guy running around in pajamas, bro. I mean, just leave Ishmael where Ishmael is.
G.I. Joe.
Yeah, I mean, nobody's scared of the name Ishmael. Come on.
Well,
but weren't you the one that told me earlier today, Bax, that he looked like a teacher?
No, I
What'd you say?
I didn't say he looked like a teacher. I can't remember what I said that he looked like.
Yeah, exactly. See, you blacked out. That's the problem.
I think I said that he looked like somebody who was cosplaying as an assassin. My whole thing is, it's just like, where did they find this guy at? It's just like they could have brought in anybody else. Well, let me rewind real quick. Me and D, we were talking earlier, and I looked up Ishmael because I wanted to see if he was an actual real character. And when I saw what Ishmael looked like in the comic books, I'm just like, man, this guy looks badass in the comics. Like, it's like this guy that they have on the show, like he doesn't strike fear into me. Like he looks like he went up to the thrift store, got some army fatigue, and is just going around jumping and swinging and all this stuff.
It's not very believable that he's supposed to be taking out. What did he need to take out? 10 metas, or was it higher than that? And it's just like, it's not believable. 100. Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
Come on, guys. He doesn't look like he could take out Oliver Queen. Yeah. I'm just like, come on.
Yeah.
I'm not
I have more to say when we actually get there.
Yeah,
I have a whole lot to say when we get there.
Yeah, I like it. It just seems strange, that whole plot line, because like then you have people like what was his name? Malcolm Merlin? Was that it? Now he was a badass, but this guy doesn't come off. He doesn't come off like that, and he's not running around killing 100 metas to get in. I'm like, come on.
Honestly, man, he look like sense. I said, he looks like somebody that's just cosplaying. Like that's all he looks like. It's like I said, I'm not afraid. Like if I was in Freeland, I wouldn't be afraid of him. You know what I'm saying? But
that's yeah.
And then also too, the what were you saying earlier about how like when he killed the guy,
he punched him in the back of the neck or something. Was that supposed to be him hitting a pressure point? It was just lame. I was looking for the sword through the back at least.
Yeah, that's what I thought was going.
Punched him in the back of the neck.
Yeah, he just punched him in the back of the neck. Be like, oh yeah, I feel like the reason why he killed him like that is because the guy, he didn't rat out where Blackbird was.
Oh, I get it.
And he was just like, I'm not going to kill you the normal way. But it's just like, if you're supposed to be like this badass assassin, like why aren't you?
Zero payoff. Zero.
No payoff at all. But I want to rewind it back to when the FBI showed up. Thank you, Jess.
Yep, she rewound.
The reason why they were at Jefferson's house was because they said that they had proof that Jefferson had been embezzling money from Freeland High School, which we all know isn't true. And it's like, as soon as I saw this, I was just like, it's only one person that comes to mind, because they were wondering, they was just like, well, who could have done something like this? It's just like, we know who did something like this. Tobias Wales.
Yep.
Like, man, look, now that he knows who Jefferson is, and D, what is it that you always say, your favorite line that Tobias said?
If you don't sit your butt down before I tell Freeland that your family is the chocolate covered Incredibles.
Yeah,
something along those lines, and it was hilarious. I mean, great. I mean, he just delivered it so well. He said it way better than that. But
yeah, Tobias is my favorite character on the show.
He's a good villain.
And it just sucks that this is the final season, because it's like, I would love to see Tobias on another show.
You may get him.
But hey, if for all we know, it's like everybody always ends up on Legends of Tomorrow, so it's a possibility that we could see him up there. I mean,
it's like the Black Kingpin. I don't think this is the last time we'll see him.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, we definitely have to see more of him, man. Now, I wanted to.
I don't know about that. Y'all have to realize that none of these white superheroes have been to Freeland ever since the crossover.
Yeah,
so they're afraid to come here. Are we going to see more of it?
Well, he did make the comment. Well, he did make the comment early this season that he had a very fast friend, but I think the reason that we didn't get the Barry payoff is probably because of budget, and it's the last season.
In the pandemic,
it just seems like their budget went straight down. Like everybody's running around in hoodies, basically. Like, nobody's wearing a costume anymore.
Yeah.
It's just.
I mean, they could at least, mention that it was the Flash. They just said, "Yeah, I have a very fast friend."
Yeah, like all right.
I don't know. I mean, I made this joke, Jess, on Twitter that as long as the Flash has been on TV, I've never seen Barry do anything in the hood. I've never seen him stop any crime in the hood or anything. It's like if something is going on in the hood, Barry, he hits up Blacklight and be like, "Hey, I need you to come to the hood here in Central City, and I need you to handle business. I'm staying away from there." I feel like if Barry ever went out the hood and people saw him in his costume, they would be roasting him, and he would be talking to Iris, and Iris would be like, "Run, Barry, run!" It's just, I don't know, man. It's just,
he's too scared. They want to be with their white circle of friends and their fake black alien friends, and that's about as ethnic as they want to get.
Yeah, it's just bad writing.
Yeah, no, I think it was something I had saw because I'm in this black Netflix group on Facebook, and when I think I had brought up something about the Flash TV show, and like a lot of fans, like they all had the same opinion on Black Lightning and the Flash, where it's like on Black Lightning, they always touch on situations that black people go through, whereas on the Flash, you've never really seen like any situations, because it's like, Joe's black and Iris is black, but it's like we've never seen them go through anything where they were discriminated against because of the color of their skin, or they ever faced any sort of racism. And I'm just surprised that this show's been on now for seven seasons now, and we've never seen anything. It just seems like everything on the Flash is all peachy, and everybody is cool with one another. And growing up, I feel like when we would watch TV shows, it's like you always had those special episodes where it's just like somebody got discriminated against, and there was a lesson learned at the end of the episode. But it's just like for the Flash, it's like they've never touched on any of that.
No, it's just a comic book. They're banking on the Flash's name, bro. I told you that the other day or earlier today. That's all it is. The Flash is too mainstream, and they feel like it may be the writer's choice too, where Black Lightning gets a little testy. So I don't know. Yeah. I mean, but you can compare the Flash like that. But Oliver Queen, he lives in the hood.
Oh, for sure.
Let's get that straight. Like, Barry's. Let's get that cleared up real quick, because Oliver's in the hood.
Yeah.
I mean, a couple of those seasons ended in riots. So,
yep.
I don't know about Barry though.
Now to get back onto Black Lightning, because on a lot of our podcast episodes and on our video reviews, we're always talking bad about the Flash because it's kind of fallen from grace. But it just sucks because we love Black Lightning. But this is the final season. But I wanted to touch on how Jen, she's going back to school, and now she is going by JJ Stewart. She's a relative of the Pierces on Lynn's side of the family, and she's transferred there. Now, D, I want to start with you, and then I'll move to you, Jess. Well, you know what, Jess, you're the guest, so I'll start with
let her go first.
So the new actress who plays Jen, and she's going back to school. Like, how did you feel about seeing her back out in the social setting with different people other than the people who know that that's Jen, but everybody else doesn't know that that's Jen?
Quickly, before we get that, as soon as I saw that the FBI leader was a Meta, I took a deep sigh. My body was clenched, and I was like, I was waiting for this episode to come on because I love the show, but this is going to be a pile of shit. There's too much going on here. So we're already dealing with Jen, as you just mentioned. Tobias has already told us he's going to ruin Jeff and his family.
Yep.
So we have that. Then we have the direct energy guns, and Gabby's finally having someone, and he's not in the basement, living under the basement his entire life.
Yeah,
and now we're adding this whole thing where we have this meta that has an eye thing that no one noticed, but we did. I'm wondering, why are all the metas who aren't connected to the Pierce always evil?
Yeah.
What's up with that? And is this going to go anywhere? Probably not. So what was the point of showing us that this FBI guy is a meta and that Tobias is controlling more metas if that storyline in the final season isn't going to pay off?
Yeah.
There's too many cooks in this kitchen for the final season. How many episodes do we have left? And is this even going to come to any sort of conclusion?
Hey, it's going to be wrapped up in the Flash.
Oh, Lord. I just want to...
Double oh, Lord.
Yeah, I want to piggyback. You know, Banks, I talk about the Grace and Nissa stuff being too much for this season.
Yeah.
It just seems super extra when Tobias has said he's going to take you, you know, he wants to ruin his family and stuff. It's like you don't have time for that relationship stuff. And it just seemed like bad writing. And it was unfortunate, the coincidence that, you know, the JJ, you know, that recast and then that storyline is just too much.
Yeah.
It's just too much going on, you know. And then the Gamby thing, he's like 007 now. Like every episode, he's like sneaking a peek or stealing something. It's just it's a bit much.
Yeah.
So
you know what? I want to piggyback off of what Jess had said too about the FBI agent. He's the first metahuman that we've seen in this entire season. Like we haven't seen any other metahuman
outside of the norm.
Outside of the Pierces.
Yeah. Lala's technically a meta, right? No, or is he a curse?
He's like cursed.
Yeah, we're good on
like
that too.
Cursed or something. But I mean, like it's crazy because it's like we've talked about this before, where it's like you know, Chief Lopez, you know, she's said that she wants metahumans brought in and all this stuff, but it's like we haven't seen any metahumans. It's like this is the final season, and it's just like I'm finally seeing somebody new, and it's just like, why would you put in the description of the episode that the FBI, you know, they come after Jefferson, but we only see it in that one scene, and we never see this guy again. It's just, I don't know. It's like you said, D. It's bad writing.
It's too much.
You know, I wasn't a fan.
Yeah.
I wasn't a fan of, you know, JJ going to school, and because of everything that's going on with the embezzlement, you have some kids in the school who are coming at Principal Pierce and, you know, pretty much saying he's a trash person because they all put their faith and trust into him. And it's just like, these are lies. But of course, I mean, looking at it, it looks like he really did steal money from the school and whatnot. But then you have this new guy and he's defending Principal Pierce. I feel like that he's somebody that is going to end up being a villain or something.
You ain't got time for that. That's what I'm saying. I just have time for him to be a new villain.
I just have a feeling that he's gonna be somebody that is gonna do something, and like he was put at that school for a reason. It's just like, because think about it, it's just like, who is this guy? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, we've never seen him before, and now he just shows up. He could have been somebody that like we saw like in some of the past seasons or something like that, but he's just a random new guy at the school. And it's like Jen, it's like she catches feelings for him. She has a crush on him. And I'm just like, dang, well, what about TC? Like, you know, I love the chemistry that TC and Jen have, and how when she had disappeared, when she had went up into the ether, I can't remember what it was called, like the soul or whatever. Like he was very concerned and he was worried about
he was there with her on that. Well, he was trying to talk her out of it.
Yeah, like he was always there for her, and it's like pretty much he's friend zone. That's where he is.
It's just too much, dude. They're doing way too much. I mean, it's like this is your last season, and how are they gonna wrap all this up in a couple episodes? It just doesn't make sense. The Flash gonna come through.
The real question is, does it matter who Jen has a crush on? Because what we found out at the end, which has pissed me the heck off. We'll get there, but does it matter?
Go ahead and
because now what we know.
Yeah, go ahead. And talk about it.
So we spend this whole time of Jen potentially dying, her being in this whole thing, being reconstituted to where she comes out as the new Jen.
Yep.
We finally get a whole episode of multiple people telling us, breaking the third wall, that this is the new Jen and we have to accept it. Why did we have all of that lead up only to find that she is unstable and she's not even going to be stabilized as the real Jen?
Yep.
I was like, wow, you guys really wasted 3 to 4 episodes on this. It doesn't matter who she has a crush on because she's probably going to die or burst or something.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense after all. I mean, they took 2.5 episodes on Grace and Anissa fixing their relationship. She's like, I mean, I didn't understand that. It's like, what are they doing? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
And then also too, we get the cameo from Painkiller, and I was just like, well, I thought that was gonna be a one and done thing when they had his episode, but Is he coming back to Freeland now to help out the Pierces? Because like that's what it looks like is leading up to. It's like, because he said, hey, if y'all need help with Tobias, then I'll come back and help. So I'm assuming that Khalil is going to be coming back to Freeland with his crew, and they're going to help, I guess, put Tobias down once and for all. So also something too. I feel like we haven't seen Chief Lopez ever since the episode where
the mayor got shot.
Where the mayor got shot. Yeah, it's like we haven't seen her. We haven't seen
Shakur.
What's the chick's name? Rebecca Larson, the news anchor girl that's supposed to be like Tommy Lauren.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Detective
know,
Shakur. He hasn't been back either.
You said who?
Detective Shakur.
Yeah, like they showed him in the opening, but it was just a flashback of what had already happened. But yeah, I mean, like, there's just so much going on, man. And then also too, you have Red, who is going around. It's like, I don't even know like when it happened, but it's just like Gamby had a camera in the guy's house and they were able to see, what was going on. So it's just like now I guess that they know that Red is the killer. Like, Jess, I know we were messaging earlier and you had this theory on the whole situation about that. You can go ahead and explain it to the audience.
The Red thing, I am a little bit confused about, and maybe Rebellious D can break this because I thought one thing, and then Benjamin said he thought something else was going on. So the last we ended was Detective Shakur showed Black Lightning Jeff that the bullet was magnetized. They somehow are scientists and can understand that magnetization means that it wasn't shot from an actual pistol, that someone with meta powers had that. He brought it down the Gamby cave because Uncle Gamby, my pretend husband on the show, is only good for being useful. He can't live a full life. Yep. He can only do something for someone else. And then they start working on it only to find, to my memory, this is where we split. I thought that we said at the beginning of this episode that they were considering that Val did it. And I was like, why did we go from magnetization to Val? Because you don't know what she does. And then they focused on Val and what is her powers, and they find out what her power is. And then they drop that. Mm-hmm. And then finally, somehow they got into the camera. Where that came from, I have no idea. And then they start seeing Red go against the lead for Monta Vista, and then they realize that it is Red. So that's what I thought. Benjamin, however, says that they didn't do a red herring, and this whole time they were trying to figure out it was Red. So Rebellious D, do you remember if they brought up, is Val potentially the killer? Because I thought that's what I heard.
I don't remember that part. I just know that they figured out what Val actually does, which is nullify abilities.
Yep.
In a certain radius, which is kind of a rip on the X-Men. But
yeah.
I thought they knew because the mayor got killed with a bullet that was shot. Like, it just didn't make sense. Like, how could they come back episodes later and think it was Val? It was clear. It clearly wasn't her. Because matter of fact, didn't Jefferson have a run-in with Red?
Yeah, when they were
pretended like he didn't existed.
Yeah, he did. He did get into like a little altercation with him. So what are they doing?
I believe it was when they were at the restaurant, right? When Jefferson had told Tobias to stay away from Lynn and his family.
Yeah,
and that's when he saw Red and Val there.
But I thought that he had like a fight with him or something. Didn't he?
No, not yet.
No, not yet.
Not yet.
Okay.
Yeah, the only person that he's fought on that side is Tobias. Now, see, this is something else too that I'm kind of disappointed with this season. Is that like there really aren't any like villains of the week, if that makes any sense. It's like most of this season has just been like what D has a problem with Anissa and Grace, and then the stuff with Jen. Like they've been stopping like low-level street criminals, but it's just like there should be some metas in Freeland who are criminals. You know what I'm saying? Like it just doesn't make any sense that it's just like there's nobody there. It's just regular street thugs. Like that's it.
I want to piggyback right there, and it seems very strange to me that I wonder when they found out that this would be the final season, opposed to when they started writing and shooting, because it doesn't make sense for them to go in so many different directions. Maybe it's not bad writing. Maybe it's just when they found out that this was the last season.
Yeah.
Because if this is the last season, wouldn't you just mainstream straight to Tobias and Painkiller and get to the final act?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that make more sense? Because like the Nissa and Grace situation, for example, the JJ thing couldn't be involved. That can be avoided. But even that could have been cut out. She was in a coma. You could just have them wake up and everything be hunky dory and then move on.
Yeah.
But it's like, this is too much right now.
Yeah, I know somebody had mentioned that in the comments on one of our reviews that it's just like Jen could have, like you said, she could have just been in a coma and then she could have returned at the end, but instead
even Grace, the Grace thing could have been cleaned up. Why does she have to wake up and then they do the whole this is my apartment?
Yeah,
I get all that, but why not just skip straight to the marriage and then go fight Tobias or get to the main? It just doesn't make sense to me. They spent a lot of time on side projects.
And then another thing too, now that we're talking about like all of this stuff and like how they're going to wrap it up. Remember, what's his name? Is it Gravedigger?
Yes. Wayne Brady's.
Wayne Brady. It's just like, remember, it's like at the end of season 3, it's like we see that he's still alive and it's hinted that he's going to be back, but like we're not going to see him. Like.
He'll be on the Flash next time. He'll be on the Flash, or somehow a Stargirl. They won't be back on Black Lightning, that's for sure.
It's just so many things that are going to be left unopened, and and
it's unfortunate.
Unfortunate.
I will say I'm gonna go out of my way and say I would love to see Tobias fight Stargirl though.
I mean, well, that's not going to happen.
I know,
because
two different worlds,
2 different Earths. Yeah,
so. I get it. It's so funny to think about, though.
Yeah.
If I had to pick, from that place, I wouldn't want Stargirl. She was too underexperienced. I would like Joel coming back as Starman fighting him, maybe. But honestly, I want to get 2 evil people. I would want to see what Iceman versus Tobias, or the Magician versus Tobias, because I think those 2 people would be properly experienced in age to fight him.
Yeah. I can see it.
But I mean, well, with that being said, we can go ahead and wrap up this review. Jess In King, thank you for joining us on our Black Lightning review. It's good to be back on the main track for Black Lightning so we can see how this show is going to wrap up. So before we let you go, let everybody in social media land know where they can find Jess In King at.
Sure. Thanks again so much for having me. Fingers crossed for everyone that loves this show, that the writing gets better and that they cut some of the shit out. That's right. Out.
Thank you for saying
so y'all can find me pretty much everywhere on Jess In King, JessInking. I'm on YouTube, Facebook, Coffee. I don't have a Twitter because I don't act like that, but find me there.
All right, D.
You can find me at rebellious_D23 at Instagram.com. Thanks.
You can find me, your hero Benjamin Banks, at KingBenji_Banks on Twitter and Instagram, and you can look me up on Facebook at Benjamin Banks. I should be the first person to pop up. If not, then I need to contact Mr. Zuckerberg. Thank you again for checking out our video review for Black Lightning. Make sure that you check out some of our other reviews that we have coming out. Demon Slayer comes out this week, and we will be doing a review for that on Thursday. And then we have our season finale review, Falcon and Winter Soldier. And joining us on that review is going to be Renes Rivera. We're going to be doing it over on Facebook Live, and it is going to be it's going to be our first live podcast interview review. So make sure that you check that out, and then check out our review that we also have coming out for Invincible and My Hero Academia. And with that being said, have a nice night, have a nice day if you're watching this in the daytime. And like I always say, keep that pinky up and stay positive. Peace. Thank you for watching a brand new episode of Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Make sure that you hit that like button and you subscribe to our channel. Hit the bell button so that way you're always notified when we have new content on our channel. Make sure you check out our podcast where we release new episodes every Tuesday, and the video of that episode is uploaded on Friday. And you can find new episodes of our podcast on all podcast platforms. Make sure you follow all the Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks social media accounts at Leveling Up Banks on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Also, we have a Patreon. If you're feeling generous and would love to donate to us, it's at Leveling Up Banks. And huge shout out to our patrons. We really appreciate you and thank you for the support. We'll see you next time on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks.